Hello. This one's for me. It's probably necessary to document where it is that I stand on the American election at this point in time. It's November 5th. I got a brand new pair of Ultra Boosts. Definitely a choice shoe for anyone out there who may have some knee issues. Just spend the money. If you can get some Ultra Boosts for $180, $185, do it. Totally game changer. So I got my Ultra Boost. Today's a good day. You turn on the news, which I do not, but I do have YouTube, and I do listen to some commentators on there, and it's looking bad in the States, and we all knew that was going to happen. It's almost like going to work sick. You just shouldn't do it. This is the worst possible time for them to have an election because they're sick with COVID. So it was a gong show. All of these ballots that are being mailed in, that they're counting 2 or 3 days after the election, that is bizarre. The fact that the Democrats had said that Donald Trump was going to contest the results in August, they were saying this, and now it's happening. But he has good reason to do that. It's bizarre. So watching the election was wild. I watched the Joe Rogan End of the World podcast, which was terrible. He said he was going to have Alex Jones on there. He never did. So I turned that off. Tim Pool was on there. He's a very good reporter. I recommend you guys listen to Tim Pool. He was okay. He had a couple of his dorky friends on there. But as they were reporting the results, there was lots of momentum going in Trump's way. And we all went to bed at around 1:32 a.m. Eastern time thinking he was going to win. You wake up in the morning, and because Pennsylvania stopped counting votes at 11, and they have this weird law where you can still send in your mail-in ballot 3 days after the election day. And it doesn't even need to be postmarked, meaning you don't need to verify that you're a resident in that city, in the state. And in a lot of these states, all of these mail-in ballots are coming in and they're 100% Biden. Now, again, there's just lots going on there, but you look at it and you're like, you know what? I don't think I look up to you anymore. It's an absolute gong show that is no longer an inspiration, is no longer a leader, and that being America. The problem is that Canada is so tied up in America that it would be fairly facile for you to not be somewhat concerned with what is happening. Regardless of the election results, I think it's a matter of time before they get into some sort of conflict with each other. I think it's a matter of time before their economy goes through a reset period. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, we're up here in Canada. We share the longest border in the world with America. They're our number one trading partner. What's going on here? So I think we as Canadians, we need to start looking at different options. This America thing is going to come crumbling down. We all know it. There's probably a lot of American immigrants coming up here. Where we're going to put them, I don't know. But we actually need to start working on Plan B. So here's some stats as it relates. Now, these are the economics of the whole thing. So I know liberals don't really care that much about economics, so you might as well turn this video off. So every day in 2019, Canada traded $2 billion worth of goods with America. There's 120 land ports of entry with America. Now in 2018, if you remember, Mexico, Canada, and USA revised NAFTA to be called the USMCA. Now that was annoying because Mexico got put in front of Canada. So that's the United States, Mexico, Canada agreement. They just call it an agreement. So that's a little vague. They say you can review the agreement every 6 years. So I got just stats. I was just looking at this. I was like, okay, so how dependent are we on America, and where the hell do we go when America falls, right? Because we have so much money. What's going on? Do we have a lot of money in there? I don't know. So this is what I came up with. USA, Canada traded nearly 2 billion goods and services per day. For the entire year of 2019, that was $725 billion worth of goods going to and from America. We are each other's largest exporters, and Canada is the number one exporter to more than 30 states. So obviously, Canada is sending a lot of goods to the States. If they're, okay, I'm going to be a little facile in my description here, but, let's say their economy gets completely derailed in some way. Where are our goods going, right? What happens when 15 of these states say, no, we don't want any more Canadian goods, we're shutting it down for a little bit. Who knows? Canada is the single largest supplier of energy to the USA. Interesting. Canada's got lots of energy. The States is next door. Let's just send it all there. Here's a cool one. Canada has the world's third largest oil reserve. Behind? Who are they behind? Third largest oil reserve behind Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. I'm going to actually sort of do this like a little trivia, so I'll give you a couple seconds. 2018, America had $401 billion of foreign direct investment in Canada. That means $401 billion was invested in the Canadian economy by the Americans. What happens when America no longer wants to invest? All of these Canadian companies relying on America's investment, it's gone, potentially. What do we do then? America makes up 46% of Canada's total investment. This is what I'm saying. That $401 billion of foreign direct investment, that's 46% of the total money being invested in Canada by foreign countries. So that's a huge chunk. What happens when they stop investing? What happens when they don't have enough money to invest? I'm telling you, we all know this is going to happen. We know America's going down the tubes. You can't look at anything that's happened in 2020 and conclude anything other than eventually the economy's next. We've seen one thing after another. We haven't seen the economy fall yet. And that will affect us, as I'm proving here now. Canada's foreign direct investment stock totaled $511 billion concentrated in America. So we invested $511 billion in America in software and IT, finances and business, industry, machinery, and real estate. So those are obviously some core elements to the American economy that we've invested $511 billion in. This one was a little interesting. March 2020, that's right, things are still happening in 2020. Canada creates the ERGI, the Energy Resource Governance Initiative. And this is what it's labeled as: a multinational approach to best practices for handling key energy minerals for the, wait for it, impending global energy transformation. I went to their website and it looks as though Canada is taking it upon themselves to ensure that the way that we sort of facilitate mining and exporting of minerals and trade with respect to those types of resources, we're trying to make it fair. I don't know if we're making it competitive for ourselves, but we're trying to make it fair. So that's very Canadian of us, isn't it? Okay. So America's going down. We know it. Everyone knows it. What the hell do we do when they're right next door? Interesting. Who are Canada's top trading partners? Who are Canada's top trading partners? Meaning, countries receiving Canadian imports. Who are in the top 5? You can pause this video and write down your answers. Top 5 countries receiving Canadian imports. Where's all of our crap going to? Okay. Number 1, the USA. The USA, we ship $336.8 billion. 75% of our crap goes to the States. When that economy starts to shrink, I mean, where do we send all our stuff? This is the, I mean, we need to start thinking about these things. Number 2, China. 17.5. 3.9% of the total stuff that we sent out. Oh, wait, no. Those are Canadian imports. So, well, okay, fine. Yeah, we're sending them out. So we're exporting them, they're importing them. $17.5 billion worth of goods coming from Canada to China. Well, after Trudeau decided to arrest the CEO of Huawei, right, his daughter, Meng Zhu or whatever her name is, they retaliated by, and these 2 men are still held captive, the 2 Michael Spavor and Michael Spavor, and see, this is what happens as time moves on. We just start forgetting these names. These 2 guys are still locked. 2 Canadians are being accused of spying in China now, and they're still there. So Canada and China have been going at each other with the trade war. It started with the canola oil. China was preventing canola oil from coming in. Also, they didn't want Canadian pork, right? This was all happening like 2018, 2019. So we got a little bit of a trade thing going on with China right now. And they take in second, most of our stuff goes to China. Second most. Unbelievable. Number 3, United Kingdom. They take in 14.9 billion. 3.3% of our total exports. Japan is next, 9.4 billion. Mexico is number 5, 5.5 billion. Number 6 is Germany. Number 7 is Netherlands or South Korea. Number 8 is Netherlands. Number 9 is India. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, well, the States is barely hanging on. 75% of our stuff goes there. So we need to start coming up with a plan B, people. Number 2 is China. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Number 3, the United Kingdom. I mean, they seem okay, but they have their own problems, I suppose. Japan. I don't know how long Japan's going to be holding on for. I don't really know much about Japan. Mexico is Mexico. I just think, I'm like, where do we start sending all our stuff? Okay, when America goes down, where do we send all our shit? We need to figure out where shit's going when America goes down. I think India. I think we need to start investing more money and resources into India. Only 0.8% of our exports are going to India. What is that about? There's so many people there. $3.6 billion worth of exports. Unbelievable. So I think India is the target. Because Netherlands, there's not a lot of people there. South Korea, I don't know. Germany, well, I don't know. So I looked into the leading increases. Where is it? This one. Deficits. Do you see that on there? Control. You might see it now. Okay. Overall, Canada incurred $6.6 billion trade deficit for 2019, down negative 27.8% from 9.1 billion. So we have a $6.6 billion trade deficit. So what that means, a country whose total value of all imported goods is higher than its value of all exports is said to have a negative trade balance. Meaning we're importing more stuff than we're sending out, which is completely ridiculous, and we need to start changing that if we're gonna survive without America. We really need to start harvesting our resources, sending them all throughout the world. We need to stop consuming garbage. We need to overhaul this whole system of consumerism. We need to get back to work. We need industries that are going to start harvesting minerals, resources. We need to start developing something. I don't know what that may be, but if you don't have the idea on what we need to start developing, then you really need to relax off your whole environmental thing. Okay? As long as we're replanting trees and we're mining, we're getting oil in a very smart way. Again, Canada has the third largest amount of oil in the world. You're absolutely delusional if you believe Canada could, as all of us Canadians can benefit from our vast social safety net. We really need to start waking up to the economics of our society. Consumerism needs to change. We need to start harvesting more goods. And if we want social services, if you want to complain about social services, then you need to relax off the environment. Everybody pick one issue and shut up about the other ones, because they all sort of contradict each other, because there's too many environmentalists who happen to want to have, like, I don't know, universal basic income or something like this. I don't know. But we need money, and it's not going to come from the States anymore. So we need to figure this out. So my idea is we just start harvesting all the oil. We get somebody in charge who's just going to start mining it, and we need to start getting it. All right? And that's it, because that's all we got. What else are we making anymore? We're not making any more cars. So we're increase in trade in 2019. Saudi Arabia saw a 46.2% increase in trade. Germany, and this was 2019. Yeah, 2019. Those are, we're in a trade deficit with China, trade deficit with Mexico, Germany, Italy, all that Italian leather we're bringing in, Vietnam, France. We need to start trading more with France. They're not even on the top 10. South Korea, Japan, Taiwan. And then India. India was up 8.8%. So, again, we need to start trading more with India. Is there any more? Oh, yeah, I was just going to wing it from here. Surpluses. So, people we're sending our stuff to, and we're not getting much of their stuff back. America. We're sending over 107. Our surplus with America is $107 billion. That's a surplus. Again, that's in jeopardy. Wipe that off the board. It's done. United Kingdom, $8 billion, fine. Hong Kong, sure. Like, we don't have a lot of surpluses here. We need to start getting surpluses. You know what I mean? Like, why are we taking in more of their stuff? We have all the stuff. We have a surplus with Norway, Algeria, and Netherlands. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Come on. Latvia. Oh, God. To me, that just shows that we're losing. To me, that's just a loser's number. And here's the number one. Here's the biggest companies. 60 Canadian corporations rank among Forbes Global 2000. So here's our top 60. Agrium, specialized chemicals. Canadian Natural Resources, oil and gas. Enbridge, oil, equipment. Husky Energy, oil. Magna International, auto parts, accessories. Potash, specialized chemicals. Suncor, oil and gas. Teck, resources, diversified metals. So here's some other specialized Canadian businesses, I guess, for 7-Star Sports, designer safety helmets. Netchum, specialized chemicals. Lafleur, truck and chassis. International Play, indoor-outdoor play structures. High Pro Feeds, animal nutrition products. Cormer Group Industries, aircraft components. Control Skateboards, customized skateboards. Cement. Explosives. Solar panels. So there you have it, everybody. The key takeaway from this is Canada's, I look at America and I just think it's a matter of time. And if it's a matter of time for them, in some ways, if we don't have a good backup plan, it's a matter of time for us. We need to figure out who we're going to be trading with after America. That's all I have to say about that. I think that's a pretty good insight, a good, nice Canadian insight. We're probably not going to hear that on the news. So that is what it is. We really need to start getting better at trade, because America's going down. We know it. Everyone knows it. And we need a plan B, and we need it soon. And that's all I'm going to say for today.